Fall is in the air. It's time to go hunting. Hey, I'm Adam Eagle, and thanks for tuning in. Tonight we got a really heartwarming story for you about a boy named James. James is the son of Walter Fitzgerald, a DWR employee who died on the job. We'll tell you about his story and James's desire to go hunting. And our friends over at KWD Adventures, yeah, they're helping out too. Got a few things to wrap up here at Big O with the outdoors truck, and then we're out on the hunt.
Remember me, Camo up in there?
I sure do.
Good.
We first met the Fitzgerald family and James at King's Camo when they came in to hear the great news.
This is a certificate is presented to James Fitzgerald for a fully guided Utah CWMU mule deer hunt in 2024. Would you like to go on a deer hunt?
Yes.
Okay.
A few weeks later, it was time to take James on his hunt. Is this going to be your first deer, James?
My first deer.
Your first deer?
Yeah,
Pretty excited?
pretty excited.
James is the son of Walter James Fitzgerald, a DWR biologist who worked in the 80s and early 90s.
He died when I was 11, back in 1992. A tragic accident. A tractor fell on him when he was loading it to go work out in Faust at the wildlife management area out there. There was a long time I couldn't really talk much about it, but now I feel at peace with it. You know, I feel his presence here with us now. I feel like he's super happy for James and for all of us to be here as the three brothers, you know. So grateful and for all of the kindness and generosity shown to each of us.
Walt showed me the ropes on a lot of wildlife management stuff.
David was fresh out of college when he worked for Walt. He says he owes a lot to Walt, as do many sportsmen in Utah.
Walt Fitzgerald was instrumental in developing the wild turkey populations and the mountain goat populations that we have here along the Wasatch Front today. But where he really excelled, and what I learned from him the most, I think, is how to treat people.
He did have a lot to do with the chuckers as well, out in the West Desert, and built guzzlers for the animals out there. There's recently a film found by Scott Root that shows him working out there. They were building a guzzler out in the West Desert. But footage of him working, that was just a treasure. That was found this last year.
After Walt died in the accident, the DWR ended up naming the very WMA he was planning on working on that day after Walt.
Pony Express Wildlife Management Area is now known as the James Walter Fitzgerald Wildlife Management Area.
He was an outdoorsman, but even more than that, he was a family man. He loved his family.
We're going to meet the gentleman's name is Lonnie Billiter. He is the owner-operator of the Minnie Mod, and he's been nice enough to get us hooked up with a deer tag, and we're going to go up there and find a deer for James today. This is a star. This is James right here.
Star of the show. Good to meet you.
I was really young when my dad passed.
You remember that?
I do.
What do you think he would think of all this?
He will love it.
He would?
Yeah.
James, you got your knife? Is it sharp?
Where are we going tonight? What's the plan?
Tonight we're going to a place called the Homestead. It's a spring up in a really big quaky patch. We can drive most of the way to it and then just set up and hopefully get about a 100-yard shot. All right, we'll walk from here. It's maybe about a quarter mile. Coyotes. Yeah. Surrounding us, James. They're going in. There's a lot of coyotes down here. Probably the funnest thing there is to help somebody get their first game animal. Yeah, anytime somebody needs help with that, I'm game. So we're gonna hopefully catch a buck coming down to get a drink. Try to shoot him right there. Now when you look at the scope, do you see the black lines? The black crosshairs. So last night we went to set on some water on a spring, where a place I've sat a lot of times and seen a lot of good bucks. Unfortunately, just didn't have much action. We had just a doe and a small 2-point come in. In this type of a hunt, sitting water is probably your most effective. The challenge we have this year is there's so much water everywhere that the deer really don't have to go very far to get water.
We're gonna go back and get some dinner. We'll try again in the morning.
We got steak, we got corn on the cob, baked potatoes.
It's amazing.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Lonnie helped facilitate this hunt for James.
It's an awesome experience for everybody. I mean, he comes down here and he's enjoyable to be around. He's funny. I mean, he's just a character around.
All righty, boys.
All right, go get him, buddy.
Great, it's your day, bud.
So we're going back in the same patch of trees, basically, just a little higher up the hill and a little farther east. So we're gonna go see what we can find. 2 does and a fawn.
The one on the right looks like a 3-point. Let's think about this for a sec. Maybe we'll try to sneak. Let's try to sneak. We'll just get out and walk down the road. We'll try to stay real low. We've got this sagebrush here to cover us. And then right where the trees are, I think we could set up right there. Maybe get a shot.
And we saw a nice 3-point off the road early, and we put some stalks on it. And boy, we were really close to pulling the trigger a couple times on that buck.
Oh, there he is right there. You see him? You see his butt right there? See the doe? Yeah, about 10 yards left. Oh, he's moving, he's moving. That one got away from us. We're gonna try to find a different one.
And he got away from us, so we walked up into a big meadow with a couple of ponds.
You see pretty good?
A lot better.
Okay, cool. We'll just leave it right there then. You can just have a seat and wait. We'll see if some deer comes in.
We sat there for quite a while.
We were there for a few hours, and man, did James do such a great job. He held still, was quiet. He was great. Of course, he was comfortable because of the generosity of King's Camo, who outfitted him from head to toe. And the gun that James is shooting was donated by the guys at Kids with Disability Adventures. We were about to call it a morning when a herd of elk came within about 70 yards of us.
I don't know if there's anything more exciting than just hearing bugles get closer. You know, just knowing he's coming right at you. That's so fun.
I know James has never had that experience before, having the elk bugle, and we heard him coming in. Yeah. Tony said they're going to be in our laps in just a bit, and they, sure enough, and a minute later they were there, a bunch of cows. There was a couple raghorns and a bunch of spikes.
About 10 minutes after that herd left, another even bigger came in to get a drink.
That was worth the price of admission. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, we heard the cows and the calves talking to each other, and it was a lot of fun. Super cool. That's an experience not many people get to have.
I think it was awesome.
That was awesome, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna try a new spot. We're gonna try a little road hunting.
Okay.
See what we can find hanging out near the roads. We'll be the only ones up there, so might get lucky.
You know, James has had a great experience so far. We've seen a few bucks, including these 2 beautiful 4-points we found just a few hundred yards off the property. But the bucks have been one step ahead of us every time.
There's a nice buck right there. Really nice. He's probably too far.
We're up on top of the ranch, and Tony has found another great 4-point.
It's 250.
I don't know how to size, you know, from a distance, but it was big.
Just gotta make sure we're out of sight. I'm gonna try to sneak in a little bit closer. We're gonna have to wait for the sun to dip. He is like directly in between us and the sun.
He was standing there for a long time, and we were sitting there glassing him, watching him, and then they get set up.
Just James, just James.
Tony said he had a broadside when he looked through the scope, and then had James come up, and right as James looked through the scope, he started walking off. Went into the trees, and we never saw him again.
We were that close.
That would have been really cool, but you know, they don't get big by being dumb.
As we were headed back to camp and light was fading fast,
Good eye.
we spotted a 2-point just off the road.
I think it might be that same 2-point we passed already.
Should we let him take it? That's up to you. James, do you want to take that one? That's that big 2-point. I think it might be meant to be. It's a good shot. Okay, do you want to do it? What do you think? It's 2-point. Let's do it, James. It's your choice. Do you want to do it? This might be your last chance. We gotta decide now, though.
Yeah, we need to do it now.
Okay. We literally only had like 5 or 10 more minutes of legal shooting time.
Remember, squeeze slow.
And we ended up getting 2 shots at him, but I think it was just getting a little bit dark for him, and he had a little bit of a struggle picking him up in the scope.
Clean misses. We didn't find any blood or anything, so. But it was cool that he got the opportunity. We all have had misses. We've all had the one that got away.
Every good deer hunter has a story about the one that got away. James has got his now, that big 4-point from earlier. Yeah. So it'll haunt your dreams for the rest of your life, but it's fine.
Fine. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
He told me he missed it by this much, so yeah, he's a great man. So we really enjoyed being up here with him.
What James got out of this, it was an incredible adventure where he got to see some beautiful country. He got to learn some skills, some awesome hunting skills, and over the course of a few days, he's really improved quite a bit.
This has just been such a blessing for all of us, for me, for my brothers, for all of our family. You know, it helps us, these kinds of things help us remember our dad.
Well, it's great news is the guys here at Minnie Mod, Lonnie and all the boys are going to allow the family to come back up and try it again. So we're hoping to see a big old buck picture come November. There is a need for these special needs kids to get them out here, and where we really could use your help. So if you got the ability to donate, Scott, the website?
KWD Adventures.org.
Yep, get on there. You can see all the stories we've done with them. It's a great organization. Glad to call those guys my friends. Hey, I'm Adam Eco, KSL Outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.